Expectations. Top of the morning to you. Expectations. Yesterday I talked about how the disciples didn't catch Jesus is gonna die. That's what he was born for. That's what we celebrate in 2 days, is Jesus' birth. But he came here to die for our sins. It was written in the scriptures prophetically coming up to this point. But the scriptures also talk about Christ coming to set up his kingdom. And that is the expectation that the disciples were living in. That was the blinder that blocked them from even hearing some of the examples I gave in yesterday's video of, I will die in 3 days, again I will rise. Oh, and then they would ask something out about something else, because their expectation didn't involve this dude dying right now. This dude, Jesus Christ, God himself, here dying right now in front of them. And when our expectations disagree from our reality, there's a conflict there. And in these examples, really the expectation is what was winning out. The expectation blinded them, deafened them from hearing what God was saying. And we run into this in our own lives, day in and day out. I've given, I don't remember if I can even find the link, but I've spoken before on our expectations being one-sided, that we have an expectation that the other people don't even know about. We've created this stuff in our head that we didn't communicate, or in that example, come to an agreement on. Jesus was speaking to these disciples in here saying, he didn't explicitly say, this is your expectation, but he was explicitly saying, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to die. This body will be put down. And in 3 days I will rise again. And it wasn't heard, it wasn't received until they saw what was presented to them in reality. And we've got to be careful that as kingdom family leaders, leading ourselves, our wives, our homes, families, and community, that when we're communicating, and seeking an agreement, that it's clear that we're breaking down any old expectations that may be in place, any old experiences, any old preconceived notions that are taking place. If you ever read the book Never Split the Difference by Voss, I can't remember his name, he really talks about in a hostage negotiator situation that he's looking for a response from the hostage holders of saying, that's right. Not you're right, or not that sounds right, but when they say that's right, they've internalized it and contained it, and it sets up an agreement between their thinking and the world thinking. That's right. By saying that's right, they're saying that is the way I see the world, and that's the correct way to world. When they say you're right, they're saying I may disagree, but you're right. And there's so many ways that we get blinded in this world that intimacy and conversation and connection and agreement can solve and make our lives better, make our lives abound, and the people around us abound and thrive, make our relationships abound and thrive, our wealth and our health. When we come to a place where we're connected, where we are one, where we are whole, then the kingdom shines through us. Then we are a light on a light post. Then we are a city on a hill. But if we aren't seeing our disagreements between our internal self and our external self, between our conscious and our unconscious, between our expectations and what we thought were agreements, when we don't see that gap, we break harmony, we break kingdom building, we break community. When we see that gap, whether through ourselves, through our spouse, through our accountability partners, through our masterminds, through our Bible study group, the Bible study that goes beyond the Bible to life. I love it, the Christian life group, or that life group mentality. Inviting people to speak into our lives and speak into our blind spots and love us as we are whole, and with our ears to hear their feedback into our lives so that we can be kingdom builders. We can be the men, husbands, fathers, and leaders God intended us to be. Get those packages wrapped. Get everything under the tree. God bless you, and you be blessed.